this absolutely just completely blows my mind that this is a thing. 2.5 years ago, we found out how to duplicate Ffvii materia. And just a few weeks ago, we found out how to duplicate Ifrit materia. And people have been talking about, like, which summon materia are we going to figure out how to duplicate next? Well, would you believe 3 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out of Rebirth dropping, we are now able to duplicate the entire materia stash that Ffvii steals during the Wutai side quest. The entire thing. So, minus a few fire and restore materias that she doesn't steal, we can duplicate our entire materia stash. And this is all the way near the end of the game, so we're talking Knights of the Round, we're talking Mime, we're talking whatever you want to duplicate. Experience and all. But wait, it gets better. Because believe it or not, this is not a PC memory, manipulation. This is a line of code in the game that we are taking advantage of to duplicate the materia, which means this works on every version of the game, including the original console version. Good Lord. I could not believe my eyes, but it's true. So you'll have to bear with me here, because this is a very long, complicated glitch. It's not difficult to do, but it's very long and complicated. There's a lot to explain. What we're going to do is we're going to run through it on PC with speed up, so I can quickly show you how it works and I can explain why it works. And then we're going to boot up the PS2 and we're going to do it on original console. So first things first, A. Jenkins, the guy that found double Ffvii glitch, discovered that materia was duplicating on the PS4 version during the double Ffvii glitch, and made a video about it. I'll post it down below. And he had a bunch of different steps that he had found that potentially worked, which made total sense for the PS4 version, made total sense for what he was seeing. But I saw it and I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like something, like just the way that I know that the code works, it can't be all these steps. So I went in and I went crazy on the code, trying to figure out exactly what was actually happening, because I had done what he had done previously. Basically, the steps that he put out was exactly what I did in my double Ffvii glitch video way back when. And I didn't get duplicate materia. So I knew there was something fishy, like something wasn't right. So I went in and I figured out exactly why this happens and exactly how to get it to happen. And then I reverse engineered it. I spent all weekend long trying every single step differently, crossing off exactly what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done, to make it work. And then I also found a very simple solution to make it work on original console, because there is one step that needs to be done differently on original console. So that's why I want to show it on original console as well, so I can show that. But yeah, like I said, get comfortable, because we're going to be here a while. So, first things first, what do we need to do this? You need two things. The first thing you need is you need a save that has not done the Ffvii side quest yet, but has Diamond Weapon on the map. So it needs to be near the end of the game where Diamond Weapon is attacking Midgar, and you can't have done the Ffvii side quest yet. Doesn't matter when you get Ffvii herself, luckily. You can get her at the beginning of the game if you want, but you just can't do the Ffvii side quest. So that needs to be available. And then the only other thing you need is and that's the final time you can do her side quest anyways. And then the only other thing you need is a chocobo. You need a chocobo in your stables ready to ride. That's all you need. So, right now, you can hear the music. Diamond Weapon is on the map. And what we're going to do is we're going to capture a chocobo over here by the desert. Now, before we go any further, let me explain what we're duplicating. So we are duplicating everything that Ffvii steals. She steals 48 materia, and she goes by a hierarchy. So she steals your most important materia first. She'll steal like Knights of the Round, Ultima, Mime, all the really strong stuff. All the way down to her least likely stuff to steal is like regular fire materia, regular restore materia, stuff like that. It does not matter what's equipped to your party members. You can equip whatever you want to your party members, or they can be in your inventory. But they cannot be equipped to Ffvii. Anything that we equip to Ffvii will be not duplicated, but we will be able to use it during the Ffvii side quest, which isn't a big deal because we're at near the end of the game, so the Ffvii side quest is really easy. But just to show you, we will give her a Odin. So just to show you that that works. Everything else will be stolen from us. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to capture a chocobo. Diamond Weapon just yelled at us. And then we're going to do the chocobo storage glitch that we've seen many times. How you do this is you go to this little spot here where the desert is angled, and you're gonna walk into the desert like this, and then you're going to get off the chocobo and hold down. So we're gonna hit X to get off the chocobo and then hold down. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna make Cloud in this really weird state where he's like scooting across the ground, and he's still talking to the chocobo. And then we're gonna save. And then we're going to quit the game and relaunch. Or if you're on original console, just reset the console. Or do a soft reset. So now we're going to load that save. And all this does is it makes our chocobo stuck on the world map. So normally that chocobo would run away, or it would say, do you want to go back to the stables? But now he's stuck on the map where he's not supposed to be. So now we're going to go over to the farm. And this is where the PS1 version is different. I'm going to show it off later. But if you are doing this on the original PS1 version, you need to land the high wind as close to the farm as you possibly can. And I'll explain why in a second. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to ride our chocobo that we have. And now we've done the double chocobo glitch. So this glitch is a glitch we knew about a long time ago. You're basically riding two chocobos at once. And on the PS1 version, if you do this glitch and then you move, the entire console will hard lock. So the reason I parked so close is when you get out of the farm, you can just hit circle to get in the high wind without having to move. So that gets rid of that crash. On PC, no worries. Now we're going to fly over to Wutai. We're going to get out of the high wind, and then we're going to get off of the first chocobo. So when you get off the first chocobo, you turn into a chocobo yourself, and now you can run around as a chocobo. And now we are going to go get our materia stolen by Ffvii. This is all stuff we've done before. This is all just the double Ffvii glitch. So now Ffvii's stolen our materia. Now when we leave here, because of the double chocobo glitch, we are going to appear at the farm instead of over by Wutai. You can see here, she's stolen our materia, except a couple fire materia she left behind. Other than that, she took everything. So, we are... Normally, you'd be stuck here. You can't get back over to the Highwind, so you're stuck on the first continent forever now. But of course, we have Diamond Weapon on the map. So we can go fight Diamond Weapon, and that gets us out of this hard block here, where we're... or soft block, rather, where we're stuck on the first continent without the Highwind. And we need to defeat Diamond Weapon without materia, which can be a bit of a struggle because you need summons to open them up, or limits. So we have to kind of... Oh, I shouldn't have done finishing touch. We gotta kill them with just our limits. But if we go into the fight with 3 limits, we can open them up right away. I'll show a more normal fight with him on the PlayStation version. This is just going to be a quick fight so we can move on, but I'll kind of show you how the no materia fight goes on the OG version. As long as you bring a bunch of potions, you'll be fine, because he only hits 1 target at a time, other than with Flash. Might not kill him here. Okay, he's there. Nope, we have no other vehicles. The other vehicles are gone. Also, that's a music glitch that happens on Steam sometimes, where it plays the wrong music. So now we get to watch this long cutscene. Yeah, no, if you don't have Diamond Weapon on the map, then you're stuck here forever. So this is all stuff we've known. I made a video a long time ago about the double Ffvii glitch, where we figured all this out to basically do the Ffvii side quest with Ffvii. But that was just kind of a funny glitch to do. We didn't think it had any real, like, implications. It was just a fun glitch to do. So all of this is prior knowledge. Now, what we didn't know before was how to do the double Ffvii glitch on PS1, but I found a simple solution and I don't think anyone really ever looked into it, because why bother? But I found a pretty simple solution in that you just land the Highwind right in front of the farm, so that when you get out of the farm, you can just get right on the Highwind without moving. Because it's that moving animation that crashes the original game. Basically, it calls an animation called Animation 0, and on Steam, there's like a failsafe if it tries to run an animation that doesn't exist, but on the PS1 version, it just crashes completely. So we gotta watch this, and then we need to do the Midgar raid. So if you want to do the entire Midgar raid, you can. If you don't do the Midgar raid, you're missing out on, like, debut item and a lot of other things. But for the sake of this, we're just going to skip it. But you can do the entire Midgar raid. You can fly over to Midgar, do the raid, and then after the raid, you're in the Highwind and you're good to go. Or you can do Midgar raid skip to skip it and make it quicker. You could get, yeah, you can get it at Bone Village. What else do you... I mean, you miss the Turk fight, so you miss a Zydric, you miss a Tough Ring, you miss a Minerva Band, you miss the 4th bracelet, you miss Kate Sith's ultimate weapon, you miss a lot of stuff. You miss Missing Score, you miss a Misstyle, which is probably the biggest thing you miss. It's a Misstyle. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the raid. And the raid is not difficult to do without materia, so I would recommend if you're doing this on a regular playthrough, stick through it and do the whole raid. But we're going to do Midgar raid skip to skip the raid just to make this tutorial quicker. Whether or not you're doing Midgar raid or not, though, at this point we cannot get out of the Highwind. If we were to land the Highwind right now, which by the way, it teleports you to the Highwind here. If we were to get off the Highwind right now, we would be locked on whatever continent we land on. Because the game thinks we're doing the Wutai side quest right now. So it will say, like, we can't get in the Highwind until we catch Ffvii. So do not land the Highwind, or you will be stuck. Now to do Midgar raid skip, all you have to do is hold run, down, and right during this cutscene. And it will skip the entire Midgar raid, and you'll just fight Hojo immediately. So we're going to do that just to speed this up. Again, you can do the whole Midgar raid. You can even save and quit at this point. It won't screw up the glitch. We're gonna skip it just to make things quicker. And again, you have to do all this without materia, so you need to be at least prepared for that. Get a lot of items. Get a lot of X potions. I'll show off later kind of fighting Diamond Weapon without materia. All you really need is potions, because like I said, he only attacks one person at a time, and then he has flash, but he tells you exactly when he's doing it. So you can just heal up, and you should be set. But it can be an annoying fight without materia, because you can only open them up with limits. Alright, last big tech section here. We gotta go through the whole Tifa spiel. In fact, I'm gonna speed this up even more, just because it's a really long cutscene. Oh, I meant to pull up the code. Forgot to, so I'll have to pull it up when we get there, but I'm going to show the actual line of code that causes this to happen. I'm just completely dumbfounded that this is a thing. 2.5 weeks before rebirth, right after finding the Ffvii duplication. I mean, I'm not going to say I thought we were done with this stuff in 2024, but good lord. I definitely did not expect this to happen in February. It's unreal. Actually unreal. Thank you guys very much for the subs, by the way. Now, you can save and quit here as well, which is nice on the PS1 version, because sometimes the disc change, like I know with my version of the game, sometimes the discs won't load during the disc change, and I have to reset the console, and then it'll load. So feel free to save here. All right. Let's go ahead and set it back to what it was. Now we are finally going to go do the Ffvii side quest. But, as you can see in our PHS, Ffvii's back. Because the game gives you your whole party back. Also, Aerith's is here. Don't worry about that. This is an old file I used for something else. But, as you can see, she still has her own materia. Everyone else is gone. Or everyone else's materia is gone except this one ice materia. But Ffvii still has her own. Now, we do not want Ffvii in the party yet, because she will break the game. So don't bring her back in yet. First, we're going to do the first part of Ffvii side quest. Yeah, I used this file for another glitch explanation a while ago, so that's why Eris is there. I promise it doesn't affect anything. As you'll see when we do it on the original game. Alright. So if you have Ffvii in your party, the game will soft lock here. Because it will try to bring Ffvii. It actually won't soft lock here, it'll soft lock in the next scene. She will try to join your party after she runs away, and she'll get stuck on a wall. And then you're soft locked. So don't bring her into the party yet. Oops. I don't need your guys' help. Alright. Now we're gonna go fight Corneo's goons. Actually, not his goons. Shinra's goons. He dodges the goons, and we have to fight him. Alright, so up to this point, this is everything we already knew about the double Ffvii glitch. We knew that we could use Ffvii in the Ffvii side quest as like a funny haha. What we didn't know was this next part. So, we are going to save here. And we are going to bring Ffvii into our party. Now, from my testing, if you used Ffvii, if you had Ffvii in your party when she first stole your materia, she needs to be in this slot. If you didn't have Ffvii, like if you had two other party members and then Ffvii jumped in and stole your materia, then she needs to be in this slot. That is just from my testing. It may or may not be correct, but it doesn't matter because we can check to make sure it's right. And I'll show you how to do that. But I believe if she was in your party, which she was, she should be in that slot. But you can save here, so if it doesn't work, you can just load your save. But we will know if she's in the right slot as soon as we get into this fight. If your party member, if your other party member is really close to Cloud, like right by this thumb, then it's correct. If your party member's back here, then it's incorrect. So we'll see. All right, he's in the right spot. So this is correct. If you start this cutscene and your other party member is back here, then reset and load that file and put Ffvii in the third slot instead. And you'll see why in a minute. So now we get to fight Raps with Ffvii, which is funny, and she still has her Odin materia that we kept for this. And you'll see later, that will be the one materia that doesn't get duplicated, along with those fire materias that she didn't steal. Alright, so here we go. Here's the magic. And shoutouts to Pet Friend. She helped me find the exact line of code that makes the glitch happen before I started going in and literally crossing off every single part of this glitch that needed to be done. She helped me figure out what the actual line of code was. So, let's talk. Let's talk about the Final Fantasy VII code, aka the biggest dumpster fire in the planet of all time. Let me find Wutai real quick. There it is. And Yuffie's room is right here. All right, so let's talk about the Final Fantasy VII dumpster fire code. So, this is the scene we're looking at. And in this scene, what normally happens is your 3 party members are initialized into the scene. So, for example, let's look at Red 13. Red 13, one of his scripts is, I'll put it over here, it's a little easier to see. Place field model in X coordinate, Y coordinate, triangle, right? That is just simply placing Red 13 in this spot when the scene starts, right? And each party member has that. Now, Yuffie, on the other hand, and the way the Final Fantasy VII code works for anyone that's unfamiliar, because you would never understand it if you weren't familiar, each character has their own lines of code that are called by the main directory. So, like, if Yuffie's doing something, the main directory will call her a certain line of code in her little, like, code area. So, for example, like, if Cloud needs to move, the main directory will call Cloud, and it'll say, like, go to execute script 3 in Cloud. And then you'll go to Cloud, and you'll go to script 3, and then it'll do the thing that's in script 3, right? So Yuffie's code in this scene, she does a bunch of running around and jumping around and stuff. But one of the things she does is she gives you your materia back. So I always thought, like, when we did this scene, that they probably just actually gave you the materia, like, during the load screen or something, you know? Like, not actually literally when she's giving you, like, doing the animation to give you the materia. I expected it was kind of a more of a behind-the-scenes coding thing where it looks like she's giving you the materia, but then, you know, as the scene fades out or something, it gives you the materia. But they actually went through the hassle of when she does the animation jumping around and stuff, that's actually when she gives you your materia, which is kind of funny. Specifically after she says, perfect, now it's all in the right spot. That is when you actually get the materia. So this is all the code that gives you your materia. There's even a line of code right here that says restore all materias. So this is the actual line of code that gets run, right? So this is why this glitch happens. And again, this is just absolutely insane. This reminds me of the calm skip and how there was that one little line of code that Barrett has that gives you your that takes your PHS away because it's going to get wet, and then he gives it back to you. Like, it's just because of this one line of code that this works. So because Yuffie is in the scene, but she's also our third party member, when she gets initialized into this scene, it runs the same line of code that it would normally run for the party members. So party member, when it initializes, let's see if I can actually find the spot. It's not there. I think it's might be in cloud. Let's see if I can find it. There's a line of code that runs everyone's sixth. I don't think I'm able to find it. There's a line of code that runs everyone's sixth script. So like when the scene starts, it'll go into Red 13 and it'll say run script 6. And then you go to script 6, and script 6 is the one that just initializes him into the spot, right? So what happens is Ffvii gets put in the scene. She jumps around and gives everyone their materia, right? Well, actually, I guess technically this happens first, but when she gets initialized into the scene, she gets placed here, and the game says, run Ffvii script 6, because it thinks that that's going to be the place her there script, which for every other character it is. For every other character, script 6 is place them in the right spot. But because Ffvii can't be in your party for this, they didn't write code for that. Instead, Ffvii's code is all different. But it just so happens that script 6 for Ffvii is the one that gives you your materia. So when Ffvii gets placed in this scene, it places her there. It says run script 6. So it gives you all your materia. And then it goes through the scene normally, and it gives you your materia again. It just so happens that the third party member runs script 6, and it just so happens that they needed 6 blocks of script to get to the part where they started to duplicate materia, or started to give you your materia back. So that's why this works. So now we open up our stuff. We can remove everyone's materia, arrange, and we now have 2 of everything she stole. XP and all. And of course, those fire materias that she left behind, those didn't get duplicated. The ice materia that Red 13 still had didn't get duplicated. But everything else duplicated. And of course not the MP restore, or the MP absorb, because that's what you get in the Wutai side quest. Our enemy skills are duplicated with all the enemy skills. And of course, all of our summon materia is duplicated, except Odin, because we gave her Odin to show that off. So if you were to go out of your way to get Knights of the Round, Mime, all that stuff, before doing the Wutai side quest, all of that will get duplicated as well. So that is the quick explanation, as quick as I could make it, of this glitch. At this point, you're good to go. Everything's normal now. You're at well, I say normal. What's funny about this also is that you do the Wutai side quest on disc 3, which is not supposed to be possible, but that doesn't break anything. You're ready to go fight Sephiroth now. You're at the end of the game. We're on disc 3 now. This happens I'm going to show it off on PlayStation. This happens exactly the same way on PlayStation, with the exception of you cannot move when you do the double chocobo glitch, or the PS2 will crash. I think this is the first time in history that we can duplicate enemy skill on PS1. We can now have 8 enemy skill materias on PS1 for the first time ever, if I'm not mistaken. This is the first time ever we can have 8 enemy skills on PC as well, unless you smuggle. But on a regular save file, on a single save file. Yeah, you can start mastering 2 Knights of the Rounds instead of 1 if you want to get a full line of that. Same thing with Mime. There's a lot of implication here. It takes a lot of work, but you're going through the story that you're already going through anyways. So it's not like it's a big detour. It's just as you're doing the end of the game, you can also do this. The only thing that really is screwy is you have to do the whole Diamond Weapon and Midgar raid without materia. But yeah, let's show this off on original console. Are you ready to see, for the first time ever, our entire duplicate? Actually, I don't have to get up. I already got it. I already got it ready to go. Our entire materia list duplicated on OG console. So the reason this wasn't found originally is that Ffvii has to be in that specific spot. You have to bring her with you to go fight Raps, and she needs to be in the correct spot. And when I originally made that video, she was not in the correct spot. So I didn't notice it. And because it's such a kind of just a fun glitch, it doesn't do anything. I don't imagine a lot of people went and did it themselves. They just watched the video and said like, oh, that's really cool. But there's not much of a reason to do it yourself, because it's kind of just a funny, haha, you can bring Ffvii into her own side quest. But there was no real implication on the run or on your save file. So I don't think a lot of people went out and did it themselves. All right, here we are on PS1, technically on a PS2, but on PS1, we have a bigger list of materia on this file, so it's not all going to get stolen, but all of my materia, all of my summon materia, all of the important materia are going to be grabbed. So first things first, let's get that chocobo. Yeah, that those saves that are like blinding, I think those are actually my childhood saves from when I was a kid. This is a really old memory card. I needed to find a save file that was far enough into the game. I ended up finding a save file that was at the end of disc 1, and I played through the entire game this weekend to get to this point so I could show this off. Because I didn't have a file that was right here, but also didn't do the Ffvii side quest on PS1. So I had to play through the entire game over the weekend. We streamed it, and I played through the entire second disc. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing. And this can be a little tougher on console, but just get off, hold down. There we go. You cancel out the first text box and then not the second one, and that's what gives you this effect. Then we save. Then we can soft reset. Close your eyes if you don't want to get blinded again. Flashbang. No, that was because the chocobo was trying to run away after I canceled that second text box. Now we're gonna fly over to the farm. And this is the important thing, but luckily you can save before you do this, so if you screw it up, just load and try again. It can be a bit finicky to get the high one in the correct spot. See if I can get it in one try. So you want to land, like, vertically, like this. That should be good, I think. Like I said, you cannot move. If you touch the directional button, the PS2 will instantly freeze. My chocobo's in the stable, I gotta... Or in the thing, I gotta move them. Or her, I should say. Alright, so hopefully we're in the right spot where I can just hit circle and get right in the high wind. So like I said, if I hit the directional pad, the game will freeze. Perfect. Now we're going to fly over to Wutai. And again, when we get out of the high wind, do not hit a directional button. We're just going to get out. And then we're going to immediately hit X again to get off the first chocobo. So out of the high wind, and then off the first chocobo. Now we're free to run around. So we'll do a little experiment here, because we do not have Ffvii in our party this time. So this time we'll put Ffvii in the third slot, and see if my hypothesis was correct. Thank you, Yet. Now we want to save these limit breaks for Diamond Weapon, because we're gonna need them. Yeah, my PS2 is upscaled, so you can really see the imperfections. It's pretty great. Now we're back at the farm, and as you can see, we got an ice materia, we got an MP+, we got to keep some of our green materia, got to keep underwater, very nice of her to let us keep that. But all of our big materia, our summon materia, Quadra Magic, Ultima, all that's gone. And we can even equip some of that materia to help us out with Diamond Weapon, but we won't need it. You could duplicate Master Materia. Even on PS1, you could. You could go beat Emerald Weapon. You could go beat Emerald Weapon right now, get 3 copies of the Master Materia, and then duplicate it with this. You could also get... I think you can get Master Magic at this point, I think. You can have all the magics. I mean, it would take a long time, but you could do it. You can't get Master Command yet, because you don't have debut item. Oh, you can get Master Summon at this point, too. You have all the summons at this point. Oh, that's right. Shields in the crater. Yep. Yep, never mind. But you can do Master Summon, and you could beat Emerald and get a copy of all 3. Nope, Emerald's actually always on the map. As soon as you have the sub, he's there. It's Ruby that doesn't spawn until you beat Ultima. Or Ultimate, I should say. Yep, you can get 2 underwater materia, but you can always do that. You just give him another guidebook. Hopefully we can kill him here so we don't have to wait for our limits to come back. We're in Fury though, so... The only application this could maybe have is like for 100%, but I kind of doubt it. I don't know though, I haven't really looked into it. Like I said, I just figured this out this weekend. Just went through everything to figure out... Oops. Exactly how everything worked this weekend. Also, I forgot to throw potions. So when he does that, you know he's doing it, so you can just have X potions ready. I did not, because I wasn't paying attention. But I did have Sid accidentally throw one, so I guess that worked out. You should be dead now. Yeah, I saw some people saying, like, when we figured out Ffvii duplication, that 100% might have to be changed. Now that we can get 6 enemy skills on OG console, there might be another change. Sorry, 100% people. Sorry, perfect file people. We've done it again. How's it going, Zoo? Good to see you, man. Wow, nice whiff. These Fury whiffs are brutal. What is he at? So, if you just prep your X potions early, you'll heal and then get all your limits back. That's an easy way to take care of them without materia. Yes, it is. It can't kill you. And he counts down, so like you know exactly when he's going to use it. So just prep healing for it, and you're good to go. Thank you all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. You're about to see for the very first time 6 enemy skills. Or wait, 8. And more goofiness. Rufus looking like the Michelin Man. It's crazy, man. It really is. Really, really is. I appreciate y'all being here for this. I had to tease everyone this weekend because I needed to get this save file up to where I needed it. But I didn't want to tell everyone yet about it because I didn't know if it worked on PS1 yet. I had to test it. So I had to tease everyone on Saturday. Play the game on PS1, but not telling them why. Because I had a theory that you could just not move with the chocobos, but I also didn't know if everything else would work. I imagined it would, but I wanted to be sure. I didn't want to make the video and then have everyone ask if it's doable on PS1 and then have it not be, or, you know, give the wrong information, so. Because the way the code works, I knew it should work on PS1, but I didn't know if there was something I wasn't thinking of, so. Yeah, I didn't want to give anyone false information. I wanted to have everything figured out. And I also wanted to know which parts needed to be done, because at the time I didn't know if you had to do Midgar raid skip, if that was like part of it for some reason. I wasn't sure which slot Ffvii needed to be in. I didn't know if like you needed to do it at the specific time, like, because I didn't know exactly which part of the code was causing it. I didn't know if it was some kind of weird memory leak thing or if it was actually a line of code. And then when I figured out that it was actually a line of code that was just getting run twice, I was like, oh boy, this is going to work on everything. Because the code's the same on each version, so. Why does the slot matter? Because you need Ffvii to be in party slot 3, because party slot 3 is the one that runs script 6. For some reason, the other slot runs a different numbered script that still initializes the character the same, but I think it runs like script 5 instead for some dumb reason. Oh. It does. It runs like script 5 because it's a different spot that it's initializing. Yeah. For a second, I was like, why would it matter? But yeah. Each character has 2 initialization, that's not a word, spots, either to the left of Cloud or the right of Cloud. And the one to right of Cloud is in script 6 for every character. So it runs script 6. And I think the other one's probably script 5. So again, you can do the entire Midgar raid if you want. You just go through this cutscene and then you fly over to Midgar and do the raid. Do not land. Do not land the Highwind, or your save will be dead forever. But you can just go over and do the raid. We are going to once again do Midgar raid skip, so that this tutorial is quicker. Because otherwise we'd have to go through the entire raid on PS1, which will take like 45 minutes. So to do Midgar raid skip, you just hold down, right, and X during this cutscene. Yeah, if you want to go get debut item and Kate Sith's ultimate weapon and the Misdial and Barrett's ultimate weapon and all this stuff that comes from raid, you can do it. That was another thing I wanted to brute force test, was can you do the entire Midgar raid and have this still work? And you can. You can do the whole raid, you can save, you can quit. None of it affects it. Which, I mean, of course it doesn't, because none of that's going to affect the code in Wutai. But I wanted to make sure you didn't, like, soft lock at some point. But it just so happens that you don't have to walk into Midgar, you have to fly over Midgar to start the Midgar raid, so you never have to get out of the Highwind. Also nice music. This happens when you do Midgar raid skip on OG console. What a banger. And now we get this glitch where the victory music plays for quite a while. We can, once we get to disc 3, we can save and quit to reset the music glitch. So again, you're free to save here, and even quit the console at this point if you want to fix the music glitch. And I am going to save because there's a good chance my third disc doesn't load, because my copy likes to do that. Let's see if I get lucky. Big bucks. No whammies. Big bucks. No whammies. Load. Please. Pretty please. I knew it. I knew it. Alright, we don't get to see music glitch in Wutai. Big rip. I don't know if anyone else's copy does this, but like it won't get through the CD change, but if I reset, it'll load just fine. It just can't do the CD change for some reason. I feel like I've heard more people have that issue on like PS2. Maybe it's a PS2 thing. I don't know. It might just be my copy because it's super scratched. It's a fat. Final Fantasy VII has a really unique property where if it's scratched, there's a lot of different side effects it can have. The speedrun actually has to be like looked at with a fine-tooth comb because some scratched discs can like have quicker cutscenes. Like some cutscenes will get skipped, or parts of them will be skipped if a disc is scratched. I can't remember who it was, but I think it was RJ. I think RJ had a copy of the game that skipped the Gold Saucer cutscene. So he had to get a new copy before he could upload his runs, because it was technically cheated. Technically a void run, because it skipped that whole cutscene. Okay, so again, we cannot land the High Wind anywhere else but Wutai. If we do, it will soft lock the game, because the game still thinks we're doing the Wutai side quest, even though we're on disc 3. So as soon as we get out of the High Wind, if we try to get back in it, it'll say, we gotta stop Ffvii. In fact, I should be able to show it. Unless... yeah, no, see? See? I gotta do something about her first. So, as you can see, she's back in our party. We can grab her. She will still have the materia. Did I give her materia this time? I forget. I think I gave her a double cut, just to show it. Yeah. So she has a random double cut materia. But we do not want her in the party yet, because she will break the game. Yeah, no errors this time. That was just a edit I did to that save file for something I was testing. So if you ever wanted to know how to do this side quest quickly, you walk in, you talk to the Turks. Then you go get the MP absorb. Then you go to the house, and then you go to the urn. So this whole part actually works fine until you get to the part where the party members get trapped in the cage. And then if you have Ffvii in your party, the game soft locks. Because Ffvii tries to run away, but then she tries to join you. And she gets stuck. Oh, I found out something else cool. See if I can do it. I found out accidentally while I was testing this that you can open this and talk to this girl at the same time. And if you do, you can move during this cutscene. I missed it. You can talk to the girl at the same time, and then you can move during this cutscene. It doesn't do anything, but it's kind of like the Ffvii duplication where you have two text boxes. But it doesn't do anything. I believe if you do this with Ffvii in the party, she gets, like, blocked by no one. Like, she tries to run away and there's no one there, and then she's like, oh, I'm blocked by an invisible person. I think you can just walk out. So it could be a time save, but no one does the Utai side quest, except maybe in 100%. That could be like a 2-second time save in 100%, which is like a 12-hour category. But hey, there you go, time save. Huge time save. The thing is, though, you probably have to cancel out the last text box anyways, because that's usually how it works. Like with bar skip, you have to cancel out the last text box before you can leave, so it's probably not even time save. You probably only save the time it takes for her to run out the door. Which would not be worth trying to set that up anyways, so. Thanks, Sue. So yeah, she'll run up this staircase and then try to run to the cage and get stuck on the wall. Oh. Those glorious PS1 load times. Oh hi. Oh hi, oh hi. You can usually have all 4 enemy skills at this point, right? I didn't count how many enemy skills this save file has. You can usually have all 4 here, right? I'm misremembering where the last one is. Right. I don't remember if this save file has 4 or not, so I guess we'll find out. But yeah, with this you could get 8. This file was actually used for something else I tested as well. Can you guess? Can you guess from my menu what it is? I'll give you 2 guesses. Alright, so since we did not have Ffvii, yeah, my guild. Since we did not have Ffvii in the party when she stole the materia, she should have to be in the 3rd slot, hopefully, if my hypothesis is correct. We're gonna save though, just in case. Yeah, I don't remember what I was testing with the Gil, but originally this file was doing something with Gil. You can see it's glitched in the save file, in the save screen. But that's all that this file has. Everything else is normal. And you can get that much Gil in the regular game, I believe. Let's buy out Shinra. Yeah, I was trying to buy out Shinra. Figured if I bought him out early, it would like change the story of the game. Yeah, I think I game sharked to get the Gil. So this is a really old file. It was only on disc 1. It was a really old file that I've had on this memory card forever. And I think the other files on this are my childhood files. Yeah, no, I think I did actually. I think I actually used Game Shark to get Gil because I was testing something. But this was the only file I had that was like somewhat throughout the game, but not to Wutai yet. So I used this one. Then I ran through the entire 2nd disc over the weekend. So again, Ffvii has her 2x cut I gave her. Makes this fight a little easier. Especially with the Conformer. Or you could just one-shot her like a Chad. Oh, she's barely lived. By the way, I was correct. Barret is close to Cloud, which means this should be the correct spot. So it looks like that's the key. If you have Ffvii in your party, when she steals your materia, you want her in the 2nd slot. If you don't, then you want her in the 3rd slot. But again, even if there is something with that that's weird, you can save right before this. So you could just try it, and if it doesn't work, swap to the other one. Holy moly, we just got bot attacked. Great. That's cool. Rip chat. Holy lord. I've never seen that before. We're gonna have to set to sub only. Good lord. I've never seen that. That was wild. Welcome to twitch.tv, ladies and gentlemen. You won a brand new car. Holy lord. Thank you, mods. I wouldn't even, I mean, yeah, you can go through and ban if you want, but it's all bot accounts anyways. All right, here we go. Ffvii giving materia to herself. Also, one little thing I find funny about this scene is Cloud looks at both party members to say, like, hey, let's get out of here. And when he goes to look at the party member to the right, he just looks at Ffvii instead, because it's Ffvii. See? He nods at Ffvii while she isn't looking, because the other party member isn't there. Or she technically is the other party member. Thank you, mods. Appreciate you. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first ever Materia dupe on OG PS1 Final Fantasy VII. There you go. Obviously, all that green materia she left behind didn't get duplicated. All our blues duplicated. Here's, okay, we had 3 enemy skills, so here's our 6. You could have 8. Double cut did not get duplicated because I gave it to Ffvii. Most of our pinks, except like the MP+, and all of our summon materia. There it is. So again, absolutely wild that this is a thing. Absolutely wild that once again it's one line of code that just happens to be in the right spot. Just happens to be script 6 on Ffvii. Happens to be the same number as the I can't speak anymore, it's been 2 hours. The initialized script on the other characters. Yeah, dude, just insane. In 2.5 weeks before Rebirth comes out, only a few weeks after finding Ifrit duplication, it's 2024 and we're still finding ridiculous stuff in this game. At this point, I thought if there was anything else we were, I mean, I say this every year and then we end up finding stuff, but truly I felt like at this point, the stuff we're going to be finding is going to be stuff on the PC version, you know, stuff that just more memory exploit stuff. But the fact that it's a real sit down and do it glitch on the PS1 version is just absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching. Have fun.